news. Let's go big picture, guys, before we wrap this thing up. This is the summer to do something big if you want to go there, if you're the Knicks, because you've got the Jalen Brunson next contract that will be kicking in. You won't have him on the most team-friendly deal in the NBA, arguably. And then, obviously, Julius Randle, you got a decision to make there on a potential extension for him. So, this is a summer to do something. Obviously, the second apron penalties are going to be there when everything kicks in on the new CBA next season. So everything is kind of aligns for the Knicks to do something this summer. We've been waiting for that big trade for so long. I'm kind of tired of talking about it, but everybody reports it. We reported it. Nothing has changed. They're still going to be aggressive if an opportunity presents itself on a trade market. Shaun, put your Leon Rose sport jacket on for a second. What are you doing? Are you going after a splashy move? Who is it? Or are you running it back? What do you think?
I think primarily I'm running it back. I think my primary focus is keeping this team together, going with that continuity and just seeing what we can do. That January team. I think we're going to say the word January all summer, unfortunately, but that January team was really special. And so if you want to make a slight tweak or addition to that, but I don't want to break that up. And I don't think we saw what this team is capable of. So I'm not really on the side of, making a move, especially if my move would have been, if you asked me 3 to 4 months ago, upgrading the 2 spot. But I feel like Dante DiVincenzo was so excellent all season with his shooting, with his defense, with the way that he stepped up for us. He averaged 30 points a game in the Pacers series. So I don't really feel the need to go get a 2 guard. So I definitely would be running it back. If I were to make a move, like if we were on my 2K team, I traded for Mikal Bridges because I like the idea of having 2 big wings next to Jalen, 2 big 3-and-D wings. I think that's kind of nice. And then that also gives you more insurance for the unfortunate, inevitable games the OG is probably going to miss and allows you to keep Dante. So I'd make that move. I don't know if the Nets would be open to it at all, but that's my main move.
Brendan, how about you? Put your Gerson Rosas sport jacket on. Let me know what you think.
Well, one thing first, DiVincenzo was fantastic in the playoffs, fantastic in the Pacers series, not getting written about enough, not talked about enough. Averaged over 22 points a game, 46% from 3 in the Pacers series. And he and Burks were single-handedly, the 2 of them, keeping the Knicks in the game yesterday up to the 3rd quarter. So Dante, for a guy who really struggled the first 10, 15 games to get acclimated to the team, at some point it all snapped together and it was great. And yeah, he's making $12 million, so it's even better. If I'm the Knicks, I'm going to be pretty aggressive in talking to teams about a big guy, because I don't think you can say the East, which was in tatters after the All-Star break, is going to look like that again. Milwaukee could be better. Cleveland could be better. Philadelphia could be better. Miami could get Lillard from Milwaukee. That's what happened to Denver in the West. A lot of teams got better in the West, and Denver got a little bit worse because of their bench, and they got caught. So I'm not saying don't run it back. You can run it back. But if Randle is worth 30 in a trade, and Bogdanovich is a sliding scale because of his contract, could be 19. Then you have someone like a Deuce who's $5 million, is that's why they signed him in that contract, maybe as a chip, and he played pretty well. So, you could go after the A guy. If the A guy makes sense, and you think the A guy, when you start thinking about Boston, Milwaukee, and everybody else, you need to go to that level of talent to be really good in the playoffs. Let's remember who the Knicks just played here in, 7th seed and a 6th seed in a very bad Eastern Conference. I'm not diminishing what they did. They had a great season. But as you're looking big picture, if other teams get better, do we need to get better? And then if you use Randle and Bogdanovich, you're already to $50 million by way of a trade if you were kind of thinking that way.
Yeah, a couple quick notes just based on what you guys said. Donovan Mitchell, I don't think that, it's a fait accompli that he asks out of Cleveland. I think one of the things there is Cleveland could be aggressive on the trade market, trying to add a piece with Donovan. and then he stays and signs his extension, and we'll see where Cleveland goes. As far as the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell, I don't get the sense that they would be as aggressive now as they were a couple summers ago on Donovan. Get the sense that some people internally just feel like the way this team is going now, Mitchell, they would not need to be as aggressive on him because maybe there are others who fit the group better than Donovan Mitchell. We'll see how that shakes out. Obviously, New Orleans could be moving some parts around. Brandon Ingram, there's been a lot of rumors around him, where he goes. So that is a place to look. And then for the Knicks, too, I mean, I think if there's ever a world where OG Anunoby doesn't re-sign, I don't think there is. I think he's back here. But then, they've had interest in Paul George in the past. I would think that they kick the tires on Paul George. And for Paul George, who's going to give him that fourth year on his contract? The Clippers, to date, have not been willing to do so. Would Philadelphia go 4 years? I would assume they would. Would the Knicks go 4 years? If, again, the scenario were to come up, I don't know. But that, to me, is where this offseason starts. It starts with Philadelphia. It starts with Paul George, and then the dominoes fall from there.